Okay, so I'm thinking that the game is not going to be as straightforward as, okay, the next person you meet that tries to be friends with you is going to be the next parasite. She might be, I have no clue, but remember we did meet Liz, and Liz ended up being a person that was being a friend to us, being very kind, being caring and everything, and she ended up not being the parasite, so I think it might be that we're going to have multiple people to choose from, right? So if I had just been like, hey, look, it's Liz, and she's trying to be all nice to me, she must be the parasite, I would have been wrong. So, although I am suspicious of her, very suspicious, because why would she want to rent here? I mean, this is just my opinion, but it's pretty run down, and I don't know, it's just very weird. But she may end up being a character like Liz, where she's here to divert our attention from who the true parasite is, or just to be another friendly presence, like Liz was in this section of the game. So, you said you were my daughter at the hospital. The spare room I have is pretty bad, you should know. How did you get in that night? I'm sure I locked the door. I think this would probably be the first question that I would ask.
How did you get in that night? I'm sure I locked the door.
Well... Okay, I'll tell you. You won't like it probably, but I'll tell you.
Her text is pink. It's suspicious. What? Why would you?
You did what?
Look, I know it sounds like I'm some sort of criminal, but believe me, I'm not. My dad was a master locksmith. He knew everything there was to know about locks. He taught me some of that stuff too. Look, I've got this little box. I always carry it with me. There are a few types of lockpicks in it. They're very expensive. Custom made.
That's going to be handy in the
future.
future.
It's now the only thing that reminds me of him.
I see. But you know, it does sound like your father was really a burglar, not a locksmith.
Always the doubter.
It's not important anymore.
Always the skeptic.
I guess it isn't. But what gave you an idea that you can pick the lock on my front door and just barge in uninvited?
I heard the cats. They were going crazy. It was like if all hell broke loose inside.
Oh.
The noise they made. It was incredible. Like ghosts howling. And for a while, it turned into an almost human cry.
Because they love
Well,
you.
anyway, I kept banging on the door, but you were already asleep. In a coma or whatever. So I pulled out a sea rake and got the door open. You could say I had a hunch.
A hunch. Great.
I had a hunch that something was very wrong. And I made no mistake, did I?
There's something inhuman about her. And it may just be that I'm totally picking at insignificant details, but something about her voice, it might just be the way that the voice actress was recorded. It may just be that she has more of like a, what do you call it, like a gravelly voice, or like more of a rough voice, and I'm just interpreting that as sounding kind of robotic or something. But that and her text is pink. That just, I don't know, it makes me feel like she's very inhuman or something. I don't know, it's just the feeling. It's really, really brilliant by just adding one little aspect like that, and it just completely changes how you feel about that character. You said you were my daughter. You know, I'm going to try to talk her out of it, because I kind of don't really want, I mean, I guess we don't really have anything to lose per se by having a boarder, but this is all just so weird, right, Susan? This is all just so weird. Susan doesn't really want this girl to move in.
This spare room I have is pretty bad, you should know.
I'm not fussy. It's not for long anyway. Just a few weeks, maybe. Anything is better than what I've got at the moment.
Which is?
I slept at the train station last night. There's a guy there who talks to rats. You should see him.
Wait, can you even afford rent for the room?
Sure. I'll pay you for 2 months in advance. Money's not an issue.
Why not go to a hotel then?
I hate hotels.
More than train stations? With homeless weirdos and rats.
Robbie? Oh no, he's cool. He's alright. And he kept the rats away.
Wow. I have to ask this question. I mean, yeah, you said you were my daughter at the hospital. Well, I don't really care about that because obviously she said that to explain why she was in the apartment, so I don't really care. What's more important is, why does she seem to want this room so much? If money's not an issue, if it's only for a few weeks, if she was previously homeless, unless she's a hooker and she needs a place to... Anyways, we're gonna ask this question.
Why do you want this room so much? Let's face it, this flat's falling apart.
It is.
It's cold, it's dark, it's a bit moldy.
True.
This is the old part of town where nothing ever happens. It's far from the city centre, and there are only 2 buses going through here, and that's if you're lucky. And I'm known around here as a fucked up, wicked cat lady. They'd burn me at the stake if they could. They'd put me in a bag and drown me in the river like a litter of kittens. I'm not exactly great company for a young girl like yourself.
Kittens?
Who are they?
Neighbors?
People. Just people.
Neighbors.
I don't give a fuck about people, Miss Ashworth. But I do like cats.
Good. I like her better
I
now.
think they'll smell the rats on me. Could really use a shower.
Okay, since it's the last
You
thing...
said you were my daughter at the hospital. You're a little liar, aren't you? How can I trust you? How should I know you won't slit my throat when I sleep?
Jesus, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Slit your
really?
throat? Are you always so suspicious of people?
I was
If
thinking
I
that.
wanted to do such a thing, I would never have bothered saving you, would I? Just think about it for a second. I was trying to avoid all the stupid questions. I didn't know what else to say. That seemed like an easy option at the time. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let me come in the ambulance with you. And I wanted to see if you've made it.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this earlier. Susan seems especially skeptical and suspicious of people, right? I mean, why does she care if she slits her throat in her sleep? She's not gonna die. That's sarcasm, by the way, guys. Hopefully you know me well enough to know when I'm joking, when I'm semi-joking, and when I'm serious. I'm sure you'll change your mind when you see it. Well, I died in that hospital, if you must know. Let's not say that. I don't know, it just doesn't sound
I'm
like
sure you'll change your mind when you see it.
I'd love to see it. And I'm sure it isn't as bad as you picture it.
The window is stuck, and it doesn't shut properly.
It's alright, I like fresh air.
There's clutter everywhere.
I'll tidy up.
It's got a funny smell.
I'll burn some joss sticks to cover it up. I love joss sticks.
Is that like incense?
Fine. I give up. Follow me. You can see it for yourself, if you're so stubborn.
That's funny. I hear this beeping in the background. I know it's just part of the soundtrack, but it reminds me of the life support beeping, right? Well, now the guitar is in. Can't really tell. You know, maybe we should turn on some lights for our guest. There.
This room is perfect.
Really? What about all this clutter?
I'll move some stuff to the side if that's okay with you. But most of it I can use. All I really need is a bed to sleep and a roof over my head to cover me from that rain. And a power outlet so I can charge my laptop. Oh, and someone to watch too. You got a shower, right? I'm dying for a shower.
She seems like a very nice girl. Very much, I mean, very different in character, but same just goodness about her as Liz. Is there anyone I could contact for references? Don't really care about that. You're not some kind of trouble, are you? You mentioned some personal reasons for staying here. Are you part of that emo subculture? Now you can all get mad at this game instead of bitching at me about what emo is or isn't, like all of you did in the past. Like I care. You mentioned some personal reasons for staying here. That seems like the most
You mentioned
important
some
thing.
personal reasons for staying here.
Yes. It's a long story, though. I don't really want to bore you with all that personal crap.
Okay. In that case, could you give me the short version?
Yeah, alright. I'm looking for someone. I don't really know this person, but it's a friend of a friend. I only ever talk to this guy online, so I don't know what he looks like. I love this lamp. Does it work? What was I talking about? Oh, yes. I don't know what he looks like, but I know my way around computers. I managed to track him down.
That doesn't seem safe.
Turns out he lives here, in this building somewhere. What I don't know is which flat he lives in. There are 8 flats here altogether. He's in one of them, and I must just figure out which one. It shouldn't be too hard.
What do you want from this person?
Yeah.
I just want to talk to him. He's done something really bad. Something horrible. I need to talk to him to get closure, you know?
Just talk. Are you sure?
Yep. I want to meet face to face with him. That's all.
Huh. That seems fishy, and it seems like a really bad idea. Ladies out there, don't go meeting people that you met over the internet. You've heard that from everyone. You don't need to hear it from me, but just thought I'd support that. Is there anyone I can contact? You're not some kind of trouble.
You're not in some kind of trouble, are you?
Do I really look like some kind of serial murderer to you, Miss Ashworth?
I don't know. What do serial murderers look like anyway?
A scar across the face, an eye patch, rough stubble. Those
Oh, a
sorts of
man
things, I
then, huh?
guess.
Sexist.
That's a pirate you've just described. Just add a wooden peg leg and we've got a full picture. But who knows? I'm no expert on murderers. Not yet, anyway.
No, I'm just kidding about the sexist thing. It's just funny that women can be serial murderers if they really want to. You try hard enough. Is there anyone I can contact for
Is
references?
there anyone I can contact? For references?
Well, I've never really rented a room before, so not really. I've lived with my mum all my life.
Mum.
Till recently, that is.
I could give her a call.
She's dead.
Oh, that would be a perfect spot for my poster up there. Yeah, sure, that would be okay.
Are you a part of that emo subculture?
Please don't say that word ever again.
Yeah, that's basically
No,
what I got.
This is just how I dress. I grew up listening to real rock and roll, not that emo crap. I'd hate to be a part of that generic bandwagon.
Okay. Clearly a sensitive subject for you.
You know, people seem to think that just because someone dresses in black, they're called emo. You can't generalize like that. It's more complicated.
No, I agree with
I
that.
dress in black too.
Of course! That's because black is the best color. Period.
And it's so
No.
slimming.
You've been asking me all these questions, and I never had a chance to ask about how you're feeling. I mean, you've just gone through a terrible experience. You barely survived.
Didn't
I
actually.
suppose I might be out of line to ask you this, but I'm really curious as to why you tried to kill yourself. What made you do that? What did you feel?
No offense, but I don't really want to talk about it. You are way out of line to ask. It's not your business. Long story. Won't bore you with the personal crap. Seeing as how kind of prideful that Susan is, and the way that she got, like, what did you call it? Fiery with the security guards. And to be perfectly honest, that is a really, really personal question to ask. I think that Susan would go with this one, because to be perfectly honest, Susan doesn't really seem to like this girl particularly.
You are way out of line to ask. It's not your business.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to upset you. It's just that I'm a good listener, you know? Maybe I could help. Sometimes it's enough if there's someone who will listen.
Let's go back to the living room.
Trust no one. Stupid teddy bear. Should have thrown it out the window.
Room's great. So what do you say, Miss Ashworth?
How much? What the fuck? What the fuck?
I hope you're not going to change your mind about this. Miss Ashworth?
What the fuck?
What happened? Are you alright?
Go away! You have to go away right now.
But why? Miss Ashworth, what's wrong?
I knew you were one of them. I knew it! Just stay away from me. You're not safe here. You should leave now. I kind of want to do this one because it's nicer, and that's just my way. My way is like to be nice to people. I don't like being mean to people if I don't like have to or anything. But I'm really feeling that Susan would do this one.
Just stay away from me.
What?
Are you deaf? Did I not make myself clear? This is not a good place for you.
Where am I gonna go? It's late and it's pouring down with rain.
I don't give a damn where you go. You can go back to the bloody train station for all I care. Anywhere. Anywhere but here.
I bet it's not actually her. I bet... Gosh, I'm so torn. I feel like the developer is trying to mislead me here. I feel like I'm trying to be misled. This is classic being misled tactics. Let's just not sound like a paranoid schizo.
You're not safe here. You should leave. Now.
Please, Miss Ashworth, I'd really like to stay. Don't throw me out now.
Well, you can't stay. You can't. If you don't go, something terrible's gonna happen to you.
Wow, that's
Please,
a threat.
just leave me alone. I was perfectly happy before you came. I have my cats.
You weren't happy at all. You weren't... Remember the letter? Remember the note? You weren't happy. Not at all. Oh, bugger. I am out of tea. Alright, guys, we're gonna have to stop it here because I require more tea. Been trying to cut back on the coffee, and I've been drinking more tea. Delicious, delicious tea. It's Talcom, if you are interested. It's very yummy. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video where I feel really bad about what we're doing to this girl. I don't know why, because I know I'm supposed to be suspicious of people who are trying to get in good with me, but to be perfectly honest, it is so against my nature, I guess personally, and probably most other people's, I assume, to be so rude and angry and, to be perfectly honest, mean to this girl who's shown us nothing but being very kind, concerned, caring, willing to help out, very wanting to please other people. So I'm really kind of conflicted on whether she's the good guy or the bad guy, and how I should treat her. Well, we'll find out more in the next video. I'll see you then.